Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean, where beneath the waves lie vibrant cities of color and motion, coral reefs and marine forests teeming with life as if held in a crystal kaleidoscope. These underwater ecosystems have been the planet's bustling biodiversity hubs for millions of years, nurturing fish, crustaceans, sea turtles, and countless other creatures. Their intricate structures, formed by coral polyps and towering kelp forests, provide shelter, nurseries, and food in ways oceans nowhere else do. But lately, this once vivid world is fading. Reefs bleach to ghostly white, and forests dwindle to fragile skeletons. What you might not realize is that these underwater gardens are vanishing at a terrifying pace, right before our eyes, swallowed by rising heat and acidifying seas. Have we arrived at a moment when these vital ecosystems could slip beyond recovery? The mystery deepens as the familiar becomes unrecognizable, hinting at an ocean in the throes of an urgent transformation. The signs are grim and growing more alarming year after year. Recent global scientific surveys report the largest declines in coral cover ever recorded, with places like the Great Barrier Reef suffering devastating losses. In some regions, up to a third of coral has vanished in just a single year, collapsing like ancient buildings into rubble. Not only does this mean less vibrant underwater scenery, it heralds the breakdown of entire marine societies dependent on reefs for survival. The culprit? A lethal cocktail of ocean warming, increasingly frequent bleaching events, water pollution, and invasive predators like the crown-of-thorns starfish. Bleaching leaves corals vulnerable, their fragile symbiotic algae expelled during heat stress, turning reefs into eerie white wastelands. Could this bleak landscape signal the final chapter for coral reefs, or is it merely the prologue to something deeper and stranger? To understand the mystery unfolding beneath the waves, we must ask, what happens when coral reefs begin to die off en masse? Life in the ocean is tenacious and adaptive. Even as warm water corals fade, some microorganisms and algae survive, transforming their habitats in unexpected ways. Strange bioluminescent mats begin to spread on the ocean floor, glowing faintly with light produced from within. These aren't just leftovers. Their crystals and films reshape the environment, creating eerie ocean carpets that pulse and shift like living light. It's as if the ocean is crafting a new version of its garden, one far removed from the delicate corals we once knew. This eerie glow in the darkness suggests not death, but a cryptic rebirth of life on a scale almost too alien to imagine. Beyond these glowing mats lies a still darker mystery: the rise of new forests composed not of wood or stone, but of strange living tissue. In the deep ocean, long below the reach of sunlight, sprawling colonies of symbiotic creatures form massive, fleshy structures undulating with currents. Unlike anything we've seen before, these meat forests breathe and pulse, almost like giant organs suspended in the deep. Their surfaces flicker with subtle patterns of light, hinting at unknown biological rhythms. Are they simply ecosystems or something more, a collective consciousness emerging from the depths? Their very existence challenges our notions of what a marine forest can be, blurring the line between individual life and vast living machines of the deep. If these alien underwater landscapes evoke awe and fascination, the beings that build them inspire even greater questions. Huge sessile organisms that seem part coral, part architect manipulate minerals and chemicals to assemble complex living frameworks. Their construction resembles an intricate biological algorithm, recursive patterns and spiraling towers suggesting purposeful design. Yet, without eyes or brains, can they truly be considered intelligent? Are we witnessing emergent lifeforms guided by unknown forces, or nature's blind creativity at work? This liminal zone between life and structure feels haunted, as if the ocean itself is knitting a new form of life that defies definition. As they rearrange their underwater realm, they hint at an intelligence far removed from anything human, silently shaping the dark ocean floor. While these alien depths harbor cryptic new life, closer to the surface the ocean begins to recover in strange, mysterious ways. Coral fields now shimmer with violet hues, reflecting altered sunlight filtered through warmer, murkier waters. Kelp-like vines pulse with metallic patterns, capturing light in unfamiliar ways. The creatures living among them evolve bizarre adaptations. Transparent grazers that drift like ghosts, liquid-bodied hunters slipping silently through the water, colonies of jellyfish-like symbionts flickering with eerie bioluminescence. The underwater world feels transformed into an alien wilderness, exotic and unknowable, yet undeniably alive. Here, the ocean whispers of survival and reinvention in the face of catastrophic change. But what do these changes mean for us, humans watching from above? As the ocean shifts shape beneath our feet, we are left to wonder what we have lost, and what new marvels have taken their place. The glowing marine forests and pulsating colonies challenge our understanding of nature's resilience and creativity. They remind us that life, in all its forms, is more mysterious than we ever imagined, capable of surviving extremes and reinventing itself in ways both beautiful and unsettling. Yet beneath this awe lies a quiet warning. The ocean is evolving, but this transformation may come at a cost we cannot yet measure. Will we witness the ocean's future, or merely its echo fading into shadow? As we gaze down into the dark waters, the question lingers. What stirs in the deep beyond our vision? Beneath the glowing mats and living architectures, something vast, slow-moving, and ancient may be awakening. The ocean's new ecosystems hum with hidden energy, a secret rhythm of life continuing beneath the waves. It is a story of death and rebirth, mystery and survival, where science meets the unknown and the alien. In this underwater enigma, the future of coral reefs and marine forests is not just about loss, but about a transformation so strange it appears almost supernatural. And so the ocean waits, pulsing quietly in the darkness, keeping its secrets just beyond our reach. What if the ocean's smallest architects hold the key to the future? As coral reefs crumble and marine forests vanish, life's resilience pivots on an invisible scale, a world of microscopic life forms rising from the shadows. These tiny beings, often overlooked, start the slow and mysterious process of reshaping the ocean's fabric. Instead of bare rock and bleached skeletons, strange glowing mats of microbes, algae, and symbiotic colonies begin to carpet the seabed. What exactly are these new architects, and how do they survive where corals fail? As temperatures rise and the chemistry of seawater shifts, these unseen communities adapt, their strange forms and glowing hues hinting at a radical transformation. It's a story that asks us to look closer beneath the waves, to where the ocean quietly reinvents itself in ways both mesmerizing and eerie. These microscopic pioneers include algae like cyanobacteria, which have thrived for billions of years, rewriting Earth's atmosphere itself. In today's warming seas, altered by acidification and pollution, these algae find new niches to colonize. But these are no ordinary mats. Their secret weapon is bioluminescence, the ability to produce light from chemical reactions within their cells. Imagine sheets of glowing green or blue flickering faintly like underwater fireflies, a mesmerizing yet ghostly light pulsing in the ocean depths. Their bioluminescence not only attracts mates or confuses predators, but profoundly changes the local habitat by influencing microbial communities and nutrient cycles. What seems like a soft glow is actually an ancient survival mechanism turned eerie signal from a new world emerging. This oceanic glow doesn't stop with algae. Closer inspection reveals complex symbiotic relationships where bacteria live within animals and plants, generating light that transforms entire ecosystems. For instance, tiny shrimp that glow by using bioluminescent bacteria inside their bodies can create swirling blue trails in the darkness. Strange colonial animals such as sea pens and certain jellyfish species also emit this living light, some flashing signals that look like unearthly messages. Even amidst decay and decline, life clings to light and form, weaving brilliant glowing tapestries across the ocean floor. But the effects are both enchanting and disconcerting, as if the ocean's pulse throbs with hidden, cryptic rhythms. The glowing mats are not just beautiful, they physically alter their surroundings. Thin crystalline layers form as these organisms build mineral scaffolds that mimic coral skeletons, yet are eerily different. The surfaces shimmer with translucent textures that look like frost on glass or stained glass windows, illuminated from within by the microbial glow. These matrices create new habitats, inviting diverse organisms to colonize, but the usual rules no longer apply. Could these strange crystalline forests be evidence that nature is experimenting? Are these alien-like formations the ocean's answer to stress, a bold and mysterious adaptation to environmental upheaval? Watching these developments, one senses a silent narrative unfolding, of life reshaping its own blueprint in ways we're only beginning to grasp. The biochemical dance beneath these glowing carpets is a web of mystery itself. Bioluminescent organisms use the pigment luciferin and enzyme luciferase to create light in a chemical reaction that is still studied for its secrets. Variations of this chemical light appear across countless species, from glowing squids ejecting luminous clouds to bacterial colonies flickering inside sponge structures. This chemical glow is often an evolutionary compromise, signaling danger, aiding communication, or surprising predators. Yet, in the context of dying reefs and changing seas, it transforms into something almost otherworldly. A deep-time tool for survival now casting light on the ocean's murky future, bioluminescence becomes a beacon in the dark, marking not just life but life adapting against all odds. Could these light-producing mats and colonies represent hope, or do they warn of realms where life is altered beyond recognition? Scientists speculate that these glowing communities might upgrade the ocean's carbon cycling, potentially stabilizing some ecosystems. However, their rapid expansion also changes food webs and competes with traditional reef-building organisms, establishing zones where old rules falter. Picture vast ghostly carpets replacing colorful corals, their subtle glow a haunting signpost for a future under transformation. This refined alien beauty invites both awe and unease. It's a mesmerizing skin over a vulnerable sea that whispers tales of adaptation and loss tied together in glowing threads. But what if this quiet revolution extends beyond microbes? Some researchers suggest that these glowing colonies act as inoculants for more complex life forms. As these microbial mats weave structures, they pave the way for new, larger organisms that exploit the altered habitat. Could some of the bioluminescent light even attract larvae of unknown creatures, luring them into these strange ecosystems? This idea stokes questions about what life forms might arise, evolving to thrive in oceans no longer friendly to traditional coral reefs. The boundary between what we call destruction and creation blurs, leaving us to wonder if we are watching not just an ending but the first flickers of an alien ocean biome. So, as we peer into the depths, how do we interpret this ocean glowing softly in the twilight of its reefs? Is it a warning, a farewell, or the start of something utterly new? The rise of bioluminescent mats and symbiotic colonies challenges everything we thought we knew about marine ecosystems, about life's persistence, flexibility, and mystery. Beneath the surface, the ocean is not silent. It hums with light, inviting us to imagine a world where survival takes strange forms. As the curtain closes on old coral kingdoms, a glowing, vibrant threshold beckons us into the unknown, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and every flicker is a question waiting for answers. Dive deep into the shadowy abyss, and you'll encounter a form of marine life that blurs the line between plant, animal, and something almost alien. These so-called meat forests are communities of symbiotic organisms thriving in deep, dark ocean habitats. Unlike the familiar benthic forests of kelp and coral, these sprawling colonies resemble soft, pulsating flesh, woven from countless small creatures living together in eerie harmony. How do these creatures endure and even flourish in places where sunlight never penetrates? The secret lies in symbiosis, a biological partnership between animals and bacteria that fuels life through dissolved chemicals rather than sunlight. It's a world where breathing, movement, and growth feel hauntingly organic yet unlike anything we've traditionally known as forest-like ecosystems. Scientists are only beginning to unravel these enigmatic communities and what they mean for the future of ocean life. At hydrothermal vents and cold seeps, hotspots of strange chemical activity along the ocean floor, these unusual meat forests thrive. Giant mussels, tube worms, and snails cluster densely, hosting chemosynthetic bacteria inside their bodies. The bacteria capture energy from sulfur or methane gases spewing from the Earth's crust, transforming these chemicals into organic matter. This process supports whole ecosystems that defy normal ocean food chains dependent on photosynthesis. The animals themselves are physical vessels for their symbiotic partners, blurring the boundaries between self and other in a shared metabolic dance. Such symbioses allow these creatures to exist in toxic, extreme environments, creating vast, living networks that seem more organism than community. This strange cooperation hints at life's ability to reinvent itself in dire circumstances, albeit with an unsettling biological intimacy. These deep-sea symbiotic communities are complex and dynamic. For instance, Bathymodilus mussels host multiple types of bacteria within their gills, each playing distinct roles in metabolizing chemicals from their environment. These bacterial partners can switch between sulfur-oxidizing and methane-oxidizing functions, adapting to the fluctuating chemistry of the vents. The mussels gain vital nutrients while housing these invisible engines of life. This partnership reflects a biological tightrope walk, symbionts evolving alongside their hosts, negotiating survival in a harsh world. Yet, what perplexes scientists is not just survival but the emergence of collective structures that seem consciously arranged, as if the deep ocean harbors architects building flesh-made cathedrals beneath the waves. Such spatial organization challenges traditional ideas of individual organisms and suggests new forms of life as communal bodies. Movement and vitality give these meat forests a disturbing liveliness. The colonies undulate slowly on ocean currents, their surfaces flickering with bioluminescent glows from the bacteria within. It's as if the entire forest breathes and pulses as one entity. This slow, rhythmic movement creates an uncanny sensation, part living reef, part organic machine. The sheer size of some of these colonies, stretching for meters wide, adds to the surreal impression of vast, sentient systems rising from the deep. Yet we know little about their communication or internal rhythms, leaving many questions unanswered. Are these glowing waves a form of biological signaling or a defensive mechanism? Their eerie pulses suggest hidden cycles beneath the ocean's surface, dimly illuminating an alien biology. Beyond individual symbioses, the meat forests serve as habitats for a myriad of other deep-sea creatures, from tiny crustaceans to predatory fish. These animals shelter within the fleshy structures, feeding on bacterial blooms or preying on other symbiotic organisms. The system functions like a dark coral reef, but driven by chemistry instead of light. It forms intricate food webs operating in profound solitude, isolated from surface ecosystems. The dynamics resemble an ancient, primeval forest where survival hinges on chemical cooperation and biological ingenuity. This interconnectedness amplifies the mysterious aura surrounding these biotic assemblies, thick with life yet glowing faintly in the abyss. It evokes both wonder and unease, a reminder that ecosystems can emerge from the strangest alliances in the most unlikely places. As we explore deeper, strange new species continue to surprise us. Some tube worms grow to enormous sizes, their tubular bodies housing microbes that metabolize hydrogen sulfide with astonishing efficiency. Shrimp species form dense swarms, their gills coated with chemosynthetic bacteria creating a luminous sheen. Many of these animals have evolved specialized adaptations, eyes attuned to faint bioluminescence, chemical sensors tuned to vent emissions, and behavior synchronized with pulsing chemical plumes. This evolutionary arms race crafted a living, breathing underworld, vibrant with covert signals and chemical intrigue. How these adaptations arose in isolation and interdependence remains a profound question, a dark symphony composed over millennia on the ocean floor. This newly discovered ecosystem challenges what we thought possible for life on our planet. It shows that nature can invent astonishing strategies for survival beyond sunlight and photosynthesis. These meat forests reveal life's incredible plasticity and the complex biochemical dialogues that maintain balance in extreme environments. Yet there is a shadowy edge. These systems are fragile and vulnerable to disturbances, such as deep-sea mining or climate-induced changes in ocean chemistry. Their slow growth and specialization mean that damage could take centuries to repair or might be irreversible. The possibilities and threats coexist uneasily, adding tension to this narrative of adaptation and mystery deep below the surface. Finally, These strange symbiotic meat forests hint at what the future ocean might hold. As coral reefs decline and traditional marine forests fade, could these deep-sea communities expand or migrate upward? Might they serve as models for ecosystems resilient to warming and acidification? The answers remain uncertain but tantalizing. These mysteries beckon scientists to continue exploring, with every expedition bringing new discoveries that blur the line between biology and architecture, individual and collective, organism and ecosystem. The ocean's future may belong to these living mosaics, strange and pulsing with hidden life, where the familiar becomes unknown and the unknown glows softly in the dark. What lies beneath the shroud of deep ocean darkness is often stranger than fiction. In these abyssal depths, vast organisms known as symbiotic builders form living architectures that challenge our very notions of life and intelligence. Imagine immense colonies resembling coral yet composed of fleshy, soft tissues, continuously reshaped by the activity of microscopic bacterial partners. These beings do not merely exist. They engineer their environment, fostering complex mineral and organic structures that seem crafted with deliberate purpose. But are these vast organisms conscious architects or simply emergent results of biochemical rules? This boundary between life and design beckons us deeper into a world where the ocean floor is more than a landscape, but a living testament to evolutionary innovation shrouded in mystery. At hydrothermal vents, these deep-sea architects thrive amidst boiling mineral-rich water and toxic plumes. Giant tubeworms, clams, and mussels establish crucial partnerships with chemosynthetic bacteria, a biological collaboration that converts inorganic gases into nourishment. These bacteria reside inside their hosts as microscopic factories, creating energy from Earth's chemical soup rather than sunlight. This symbiosis allows the hosts to build colonies and complex structures that resemble underwater biotic fortresses, often pulsating softly with bioluminescent light from their bacterial tenants. Each colony forms a vibrant ecosystem, a marvel of biochemical engineering sustained by living partnerships. Despite harsh conditions that would kill most life forms, these builders craft a living world of interdependence and silent productivity. The intricate symbioses operating within these organisms form a delicate balance of life and function. For example, studies reveal that mussels living near hydrothermal vents harbor multiple bacterial strains within their gills, each with different metabolic talents, from sulfur oxidation to methane consumption. These bacteria work like a microscopic consortium inside their hosts, efficiently cycling nutrients and adapting to changing environmental chemistry. Such diversity suggests that these deep-sea builders are not passive shelters but active biotech hubs continuously reprogramming their inner ecosystems. The result is a living organism that teeters between self and community, plant and animal, chemistry and biology, an integrated biological superstructure shaping its environment in astonishing ways. Movement in these deep-sea colonies lends an unsettling vitality to their presence. Unlike static coral reefs, the flesh-like colonies pulse with ocean currents and bacterial bioluminescence, casting faint blue and green lights that shimmer across the dark seafloor. This slow, rhythmic motion feels alive in a way that borders on eerie, as if the ocean floor is breathing and blinking in slow motion. Some scientists speculate these waves of light might serve as communication or warning signals throughout the colony, hinting at internal processes imperceptible to our senses. Large-scale coordinated luminescence has been observed in some vent communities, raising provocative questions about whether they possess a primitive form of collective awareness or merely an elaborate chemical dance. Such glowing, moving forests in pitch darkness evoke an uncanny sensation, nature glimpsed through an alien lens. Surrounding these grand symbiotic architectures is a bustling community of associate species, creating a shadow ecosystem of interdependencies. Crustaceans, worms, and small fish shelter among the fleshy towers, feeding on bacteria or scavenging nutrients. These associates form an extended food web supported entirely by chemosynthesis, a stark departure from sunlight-driven life above. In this dark world, survival hinges on cooperation between host and symbiont, and between colony and visitor. Every crevice pulses with unseen life engaged in ancient biochemical rituals, weaving layers of existence both fragile and resilient. This dynamic invites a haunting reflection. Like a hidden forest teeming in shadows, this deep-sea biome thrives in ghostly secrecy, invisible to surface eyes yet vital to ocean vitality. Examples of such symbiotic architects are the hydrothermal vent snails Ephemeria nautilii, hosting multiple sulfur and methane-oxidizing bacteria within their gills. These microbial partners produce organic compounds that nourish their host, turning the snails into living biofactories amid extreme conditions. Similarly, shrimp species like Rimicaris form dense swarms on vent chimneys, their modified gill chambers colonized by bacterial epibionts that supplement their diet. These adaptations exemplify the deep ocean's ability to forge multi-layered symbiotic relationships, enhancing survival in worlds where food is scarce and conditions deadly. Yet, the complexity of these associations raises deeper questions about biological individuality. Where does the animal end and the microbial community begin? This evolutionary innovation represents a biological experiment on an epic scale. The profound intertwining of host and symbiont challenges classical biology and hints at new forms of life where cooperation outstrips competition. Yet these architectures are also vulnerable. Human activities such as deep-sea mining threaten to disrupt these fragile ecosystems, putting at risk biological treasures scientists are just beginning to understand. This leads to a sobering realization. We peer into an alien world thriving quietly beneath waves, but one which is highly sensitive to disturbance. Protecting these symbiotic builders means preserving not just rare creatures but entire living systems that may hold clues to life's resilience and adaptability. Finally, these mysterious living architects showcase the ocean's dynamic future. As surface reefs recede and familiar forests fall into decline, these deep-sea symbiotic communities might expand or alter oceanic processes in unforeseen ways. Their chemical-driven existence suggests a blueprint for survival in changing oceans, perhaps forecasting ecosystems unlike any before seen. Yet they remain enigmatic, biological structures that defy easy categorization, caught between life and environment in ever-shifting patterns. Their silent growth invites us to watch and wonder, reminding humanity that the ocean's deepest stories are still being written in flesh, light, and chemical symphony. As sunlight fades away in the deep ocean, darkness takes over. But in this pitch-black realm, nature has crafted its own eerie illumination: bioluminescence. Imagine an underwater world where twisted, monstrous shapes flicker with soft blues, greens, and sometimes reds, creating ghostly, shimmering spectacles in the abyss. What could this mysterious light mean for the future of coral reefs and marine forests? As these familiar habitats vanish from shallower waters, bioluminescent organisms might paint the dark ocean with spectral colors, revealing hidden lives and enigmatic ecosystems previously unseen. The glowing creatures of the deep are more than just beautiful. They serve as living signals, defenses, and beacons in an alien underwater world that challenges our understanding of life and survival. One of the most famous deep-sea bioluminescent predators is the anglerfish. With its grotesquely oversized head and razor-sharp teeth, it uses a light-producing lure called an esca, glowing with the help of symbiotic bacteria, to attract prey close to its cavernous jaws. It's a hypnotic, haunting light that seems to dangle in the darkness like a sinister fishing rod. This eerie lure not only reveals the anglerfish's cunning hunting methods, but also symbolizes how life in the depths has evolved novel strategies to confront scarcity and darkness. But the anglerfish is just one phantom in a sea of glowing mysteries. Many other creatures produce their own mystical light in strikingly diverse ways. Vampire squid take bioluminescent defense to the next level. When threatened, these deep-sea enigmas eject a cloud of sticky mucus shimmering with bioluminescent light. This glowing smoke bewilderingly confuses predators, providing the squid with a chance to slide away silently into the abyss. Their incredibly alien appearance, with claw-tipped arms and a velvet black mantle, combined with this glowing tactic, deepens the sense of otherworldliness. What if the future of marine forests depends not on trees, but on creatures that can vanish into the glowing mist, masters of illusion in a silent, dark world? Lanternfish, another marvel of the deep, are thought to make up a significant portion of the deep-sea fish biomass. These fish use rows of photophores, light-producing organs arranged in fascinating patterns on their bodies. To communicate, camouflage, and navigate. They flash signals both to mate and to blend seamlessly with faint downwelling light from above, effectively hiding in plain sight. Their delicate twinkles create shimmering underwater light shows that transform the abyss into a mesmerizing, if unsettling, ballroom. These patterns of light hint at complex social behaviors in a world where spoken sound is scarce and light is precious. The dazzling Atala jellyfish is yet another deep-sea inhabitant that uses bioluminescence for survival. When disturbed, it emits a bright, flashing circle of blue light, like a wartime flare in the deep dark, to distract predators or call for help. This astonishing display transcends simple biological function, taking on a theatrical, almost ghostly quality. Its glowing pulse communicates urgency across the empty ocean, hinting at communication networks based on light signals completely alien to surface dwellers. Could such light be a primitive language of the deep, or merely an evolutionary accident becoming an art form of survival? Not just animals exhibit glowing powers. Certain deep-sea worms can release luminescent bombs, tiny glowing spheres expelled into the water, as a startling defense mechanism. These floating orbs emit radiant light that confuses attackers while the worm disappears into the shadows. Such theatrical displays of light turn the deep ocean into a stage of living, glowing mysteries. This spectacularly strange use of bioluminescence points to survival strategies that are as unpredictable as they are fascinating, reinforcing the idea that in the deep ocean, life has written its own eerie code of light and shadow. But bioluminescence is not just for defense or attraction. Many deep-sea species use it to see in an almost invisible world. For example, the stoplight loosejaw dragonfish has red flashlights beneath its eyes, a rare adaptation allowing it to hunt and navigate in total darkness. Most bioluminescent light in the ocean is blue-green because these colors travel furthest underwater, but the ability to emit and perceive red light sets these fish apart. This invisible glow is like an underwater infrared, hidden from most other creatures and granting a secret advantage. These adaptations hint at a hidden sensory dimension beneath the waves, where light is a currency traded for survival. So, what does the glowing future hold for coral reefs and marine forests? As warming seas shrink traditional habitats, bioluminescent organisms will likely colonize these changing environments in increasingly important ways. These glowing colonies, squids, fish, and jellyfish form an alien underwater ballet, reshaping ecosystems by turning darkness into light. They remind us that the ocean is not silent or empty but vibrant with life whose stories are etched in shadow and glow. In this dance of light and darkness, the mysterious and the beautiful entwine, offering us a glimpse into a future ocean that is as haunting as it is mesmerizing. As the ocean's surface teems with life and light, a mysterious world thrives far below, a realm where light is scarce and darkness dominates. Yet, even in these forbidding depths, the marine forest has not disappeared. Instead, it is transformed into a realm pulsing with bioluminescent light, a breathtaking spectacle where glowing creatures weave a new story in the deep. Imagine vast fields of violet coral-like structures shimmering with uncanny metallic patterns, casting an ethereal glow that bathes the waters in surreal hues. This altered light, bent and filtered through warmer, acidified seas, paints an alien panorama unlike anything we've known. But what kind of life could flourish in such a strange, transformed habitat? The recovering ocean is revealing life forms adapted to these bizarre new conditions, thriving in forests of light rather than traditional sunlight-based ecosystems. The new marine forests are home to creatures that defy ordinary expectations, translucent grazers and liquid-bodied predators that slip quietly through the shimmering foliage. These inhabitants often possess bioluminescence, their bodies flickering with eerie glows that enhance camouflage or communication. Imagine transparent fish that flicker with violet luminescent patterns along their skin, or gelatinous grazers that ripple faint lights as they drift. Their forms seem drawn from an alien ocean, yet they are born of our Earth's evolving seas. These adaptations, evolution's response to warmer, murkier waters, showcase nature's relentless innovation and the complexity of life even in unfamiliar aquatic realms. Symbiotic jelly colonies emerge as key players in this glowing underwater theater. Clusters of tiny zooplankton-like organisms band together to form colonies that pulsate with life and light, acting almost as living coral replacements. These colonies wave in unison, their bioluminescent flashes synchronizing to create waves of light through the dark water. Such phenomena could serve multiple purposes: a warning to predators, attracting prey, or even a form of communication within the colony. This glowing lightscape casts eerie shadows, heightening the mystery of what lies just beyond perception. It's a discovery that reads like science fiction yet exists today, showing just how life can reinvent itself amidst environmental upheaval.